Okay, so now we have just read about the love monster. Now we're going to make our own love monsters. So you're going to start with your red paper. This is for your monster. You are going to fold it in half. Make sure you line up your edges and crease it with your hand. So now I have a little fold like this. On the side that the fold is on, so this is the folded side and this is the open side, right? On this folded side, you are going to draw your monster. You are going to do this with a pencil so you can see it on the video. I am going to draw it with a Sharpie. So we're only going to draw one side of our monster, because if we draw it on the edge like this, when we cut it out, it will be perfectly symmetrical, and I'll show you. So you're going to start by drawing just a slightly curved line that comes from that folded edge in just a little bit. It's not even all the way to the center. Then I'm going to draw an ear that comes up for my love monster. So I'm just going to draw a line that goes up and out, kind of at a diagonal. Then I'm going to draw another line that comes down, and it kind of curves. I kind of made mine curve a little bit. So it's kind of like an upside down V, where one side is a little bit longer and the sides are a little bit curved. Then I need to make the rest of his body. So I'm going to make a line that comes out just a little bit and goes all the way off the edge of the paper. So that's all I need to draw for my love monster. What I'm going to do now is keep it folded, and I'm going to get my scissors. And remember, if you drew it on that fold line, so this is the folded edge and this is the open edge, if you drew it on the folded side, it should work out great. So I'm going to cut on my lines. And there we go. I have a cute little love monster. You're going to get a blue background paper and you're going to glue him on. So I like to always put my glue on the same side as my pencil lines, because I never ever want to see my pencil lines when on my finished artwork. So the side that you can see my pencil lines, for me, it's my Sharpie lines. You can see those aren't very pretty. So I'm gonna make sure that that's the back, and I'm gonna put my glue on that side. I'm gonna put it at the bottom of the paper. So I'm lining my monster up with the bottom of my paper, and I'm gonna make sure to press him down really well. All right, then I need to cut out some eyeballs. Now you can do this the same way, where you fold it in half, except we're not gonna cut it on the folded side this time. I just want to make two eyeballs that are the same size. So if you want, you can draw it with a pencil first. If that helps you. Some people might just be able to cut out a circle without drawing it first. Now you can see I didn't put it on the folded edge. I just put it in the middle of the paper, so that way when I cut it out, because my paper is folded, I'll get two eyeballs that are exactly the same size. Now again, I always want my pencil lines to be on the back, and I'll go ahead and glue those down. Now I'm going to give him some teeth coming out of his mouth. Now we're going to paint the line for his mouth, but just so I kind of know where it is, I'm going to take a pencil and just kind of very lightly draw a line where his mouth is going to be. My mouth is going to be kind of a small mouth off to the side. Now I drew that really lightly with a pencil because I'm going to paint over that line next time, but I just want to be able to see where to put my teeth. So to make my teeth, I'm going to use this same white paper that I cut my eyeballs out of, and I'm just going to, right off the edge of my paper, I'm just going to start cutting out some little triangles. For his teeth. And then I can go ahead and glue those down. and I'm just going to glue them right on top of that pencil line that I just drew. If you want to make your mouth a totally different way, you can. I'm also going to have some little hearts punched out if you want to use these, or you could also cut out your own if you want smaller ones. The way you do that is pretty similar to the way that we cut out our monster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a small piece of paper, I'm going to fold it in half, and again on that folded side, so this is the side that's open and this is the folded side, I'm going to draw 1/2 of a heart. Now the way I've learned to draw 1/2 of a heart is like I would draw the number 2. So if you think about it, the number 2 looks like this, right? So I'm going to draw just the first part of the number 2 without this straight line on the bottom. So if this is, you can see right here, this is my folded edge. I'm just using this scrap paper to show you so I can do it with my Sharpie. I'm going to draw the first part of the number 2, just like that, but I'm going to not do the straight line across the bottom. But that's a great way of learning how to do a heart, because now if I cut this out, there's my first part of my number 2. If you think about it, the line for the bottom of the 2 is right there. If I open it up, there's a perfect heart. So I'm going to do that on this little piece of yellow paper. There's my beginning of my number 2. And there's my cute little heart. And you can make them as big or as small as you want. I think I'm going to glue this one right here on his little body. Then I think I want to put some in my background up here too. So now my love monster is full of plenty of hearts. This is as much as we are going to do today, and next time we'll add our details with our paint. All right, friends, so last time we made our love monster and attached our eyes, teeth, and hearts. Now, today we're gonna add our details with our paintbrush. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna outline any of these hearts that I need outlined. So I'm just going to paint a line that goes all the way around my hearts, just to make them stand out a little bit more. Make sure you're taking your time and going slowly so your hearts look really nice and neat. I'm also going to go around this heart on his body. Now I can start adding the details on his face. So first thing he needs is the center of his eyes. So I'm going to paint little circles first. And you can kind of decide where you want these circles to go, because depending on where you put them in his eyeballs, that will kind of show what emotion he has or where he's looking. And then I'm going to fill them up almost all the way except for a little tiny part. And I like to do that so it looks like their eyes are kind of shiny. You can see I left just a little tiny white spot in the middle. Then I'm going to give him some eyebrows. I'm gonna paint the line for his mouth that goes under my teeth here. Perfect. Now, once I've gone around all of my hearts and I've added his details on his face, then I don't really need my paintbrush anymore. I'm gonna switch to this little piece of cardboard, and we are going to use this to stamp around the outline of our monster. So, I'm gonna dip it in the paint just like this, and I'm gonna start stamping around the outside. The reason we're doing this is the stamp looks a little bit more like hair, and we want our monster to look fuzzy, like he has hair. So I'm going to use this to make my lines that go all the way around the outside of my monster. Now I can use this same piece to add some hair to his body. So I'm gonna maybe put some hair inside of his ear like this. And some hair on his face. I try not to get too much paint on my cardboard when I'm doing his hair, because we don't want it to look like a huge solid line. We just kind of want it to look like little hairs. So if you feel like there's too much paint on your cardboard, I kind of just dip it on the side of my little paint tray. All right, friends, there is my finished love monster, hair and hearts and all. I hope you love making these as much as I loved making mine. I can't wait to see how yours turns out.